Okay, so firstly, Tide is a UK-based banking service that's designed for limited companies and sole traders. This means you're going to have to be registered with Companies House to open an account. If you're not, don't worry, we have a guide that can help you through the process, which I've linked below. There's also some industries that Tide doesn't accept, so if your business operates in any one of these, then you won't be able to open an account. Now for this video, I'll give you a quick overview of Tide, go through their key features as well as their plans and prices, and because I'm a Tide account holder, I'll show you the whole process for registering from start to finish and also give you an inside look into their app. So Tide is an app-based business with no physical branches. While for some this may be a downside, it does mean they're able to really focus investment on the technology and quality of their service. And it really shows, like their phone app is far superior to most competitors, including legacy bank Barclays Business, which I've used, and trust me, Tide is a lot better. But it's also important to note that they aren't a licensed bank. So when you sign up, you get an account provided by ClearBank, which has a full UK banking license. That way you still receive deposit insurance, which covers you up to £85,000. Tide offers these 4 account types, and they all come with a business card, the ability to manage invoices, generate payments, automate accounting and tax, as well as the ability to integrate with software like Xero. A lot of business bank providers actually charge for this, but what I like about Tide is that third-party integrations are free. You also get an easy access savings account that currently earns 4.33%, and as business savings go, this is pretty good and another thing I really like about Tide. And while their basic account is free, you do pay 20p for transfers in and out, so that could be anything from receiving a payment or paying a supplier. Now the next account up is Plus, which costs £12 a month, including VAT, which is the equivalent of 60 transfers. So if you're not making that many and you don't feel you require any of these additional benefits, then the free account makes the most sense. You will have to pay £5 a month if you want an expense card for a team member, but besides getting them for free, there's not a huge amount more to the paid accounts. Like, you get additional support and exclusive membership perks, but those are quite niche and might not even apply to your needs. There's also support with trademark filing, and the most expensive plan comes with account managers and 0.5% cashback. All of this could be useful, especially the cashback, because if you combined it with the potential interest you could earn on the savings account, then you may easily cover the cost of the plan. But what I like the most about Tide is that the free account isn't just your bare minimum business current account. It's rich with features, and unless you're making 60 plus transfers a month, it'll probably be just fine for your business. And I think calculating the amount of transfers in and out of your company, or estimating them if you're only just starting, is a good place to begin when deciding which of these accounts you want. Also, if you are just starting, there's no pressure to pay for a plan. Instead, go with the free one and see how much you spend in monthly transfers. If they quickly rack up and go beyond 60, then upgrade. So if you're beginning to be tempted by Tide, I've placed the link in the description box to sign up, and if you use that link and open an account, you'll receive a £50 bonus after you deposit money. And you'll not only get free money, but also, because that's an affiliate link, you'll be supporting myself and the channel. So if your business requires a card reader, Tide has these 2 available. They're pretty reasonably priced and come with 4G, so you can take payments on the move. The transaction fee is 1.5%. This, compared to Stripe, is pretty competitive and much better than Zettle by PayPal. Although Zettle's card reader is a lot cheaper, except it doesn't have data connectivity. A couple of other notable Tide features are their business banking loans, which includes startup government-backed loans. With these, you can borrow up to $25,000, and there's a fixed interest rate of 6%. They also have a credit builder product. This is an easy way to improve your score by making monthly payments into a locked account. Each month, Tide reports these payments to Experian, and after 12 months, you get your money back minus interest. So you do have to essentially pay for this feature, and that's in the form of a 24% interest rate. So if you made 12 monthly payments at a total of £240, you'd be charged £32.33. And I'm not sure how I feel about this. If you're able to get a business credit card, then using that as a means of building credit could be better because it's free. Obviously, as long as you make the payments. And Tide even mentions that they don't guarantee an increase in your score, and that it's determined by the credit reference agencies. So you could end up paying that interest and getting nothing for it. So here's a roundup of their top features. And one thing I haven't touched on yet is that you can also deposit cash at the post office or at a PayPoint location. There are some fees for doing this though, and the post office is the more cost-effective of the two. Also, compared to Starling, for cash deposits, Tide is cheaper. Starling charges 0.7% to deposit at a post office and has a minimum charge of £3. Tide is also very well rated on Trustpilot. Reviews are mainly positive. Negative ones focus on tight security measures, which can cause blocked payments, and also a lack of customer support for the free account. Positive reviews really focus on how friendly their customer service is, as well as how good their app is, and also how straightforward it is to sign up, which is exactly what I'm going to show you now. So the process of signing up is pretty straightforward. You can either click on the affiliate link in the description box, which will take you to this page, or you can visit tide.co. With both options, you just have to click open an account. From here, you select whether you're a registered company or a sole trader or freelancer. Then we click continue, enter some personal details as well as company details, and just make sure to get these correct, because if you make any mistakes or, I don't know, something is different to what you have on Companies House, then your application may be rejected. Once that's done, you'll be asked to download the Tide app and enter some more information, including verifying your ID, and also, if you want to, entering the promo code Manito. After that, it's just a matter of waiting for Tide to check your application. For me, this took 4 days, and during the process, I also received a call. Is this normal to get a phone call when you apply?
Yes, considering it's an online service, we are not able to ask all of these questions in person, like in a cash.
The lady mentioned that receiving a phone call like that from Tide is totally normal, so don't be surprised if this happens to you. After that, I received a notification to say that my account was approved. And the first thing I did was open the app, confirm Face ID, and set up the savings account. That can take some time, so it's best to get that done immediately if you want to use it. I also linked my Barclays business account so I can have all of my transactions within the same app. So this is what it looks like. It's pretty simplistic and very well laid out. You have these icons at the bottom: payments, admin, finance, and support. And if, like me, you just have the free account, clicking support will give you access to FAQs, fraud reporting, and live chat. I did test the chat feature and just to see how long it would take, and I heard back from someone within just a few minutes, which I thought was pretty good. The finance button will give you an overview of your savings and loans and give you access to borrowing. The admin section is possibly the most important and where you can create and send invoices. Simply enter the customer's details as well as any product information, click confirm, and it will generate an invoice with all of your info that you can then review and send. Here you can also gain access to Tide Accounting, which is a paid service that comes with a free trial. I guess this could be interesting if you don't already use accounting software like QuickBooks, but I personally would rather use a software or company that's specifically designed for accounting. Tide Accounting also costs $9.99 plus VAT, which is a similar price to both QuickBooks and Xero. If you already have a business bank account, you can use the current account switching service to have your original account switched over, and there's also a desktop version which you can access via the app and a QR code. The functionality of their desktop is also pretty good. That's something I really like about Tide. And in fact, there's not really much I don't like, except they don't allow check deposits, which could be an issue, and their international payments are also a bit limited. You can receive in euros and also make them to any country within the single euro payments area, which comprises of these 27 countries. So if you have a supply from one of these, then you could pay them in euros from your account. However, if they're not on this list, then you'd have to use a different method. You can also receive international payments via SWIFT, so a client or customer from outside of the UK could send you money, but you can't actually make international payments via SWIFT. So those are some limitations. But Tide's international transactions are actually quite compelling. And I really think this is a top feature because most business bank accounts have high international transaction fees and exchange rate markups, but Tide basically use MasterCard's FX rates, which are more or less on par with the real mid-market rate. So you receive a fair exchange rate when purchasing internationally. That means you can use your business card with a foreign supplier, let's just say on their website, and not worry that you'll get a bad deal in terms of currency exchange. I think this is quite important these days because a lot of businesses are buying inventory inventory, or using services from freelancers through websites that operate in foreign currencies like the US dollar. If that's you, then you'll be getting a fair USD to GBP exchange rate, and I think for some businesses that could be very compelling. Overall, I also think Tide is, especially for smaller businesses and sole traders, quite compelling, and they easily have one of the fastest account opening procedures for a business bank that I've experienced. And if you're someone that really values their time, I think that's going to be quite appealing. Obviously, they're not a licensed bank, but you still get deposit insurance like you would with any legacy bank. But if you don't feel comfortable with depositing more than £85,000, then just use a traditional bank for the remainder of your funds and link it with your Tide account. And then you can use Tide as your main hub for your business and benefit from the technology and finance products that they have available. Hope you found this video useful. If you did, then please give it a thumbs up, and I'm here if you have any questions, so feel free to comment below. See you in the next video. Goodbye.